Okay, so Susan and Emily. Do you know the names? Well, Susan, the ex-CEO of Google, Emily, well-known model and actress by some people. So Susan, her surname is actually Wójcicki. Okay, so we've got U here, so which is O with a line above. That's the same as U in Polish. Something to remember. Unfortunately, it's a historical thing, you know, you just need to remember that. Then we've got Ci. This sound doesn't exist in English, but we have similar sound Ch in English, so Wójcicki. Now, if she were Polish and lived in Poland, she probably would be called Wójcicka with A at the end, not E, because E is actually for a guy. She's a woman, so it needs to be A. Same with Emily. We've got A at the end because she's a woman, not E. Her father would be E. So anyway, what's her surname? Do you know? Make a guess. Okay, so it's Ratajkowski. So this Wski, very famous Ski. So this, the letter W in Polish represents two sounds, either V or F. In this case, it's F because it's much easier to say Wski rather than Wski. Yeah, C is soft, so this needs to be a soft F sound, you know, like letter F. Okay, next one. Kinga, make a guess. What's this one? Well, you probably won't guess. It's Świątek. So again, we've got sh sound, not really present in English. There is a similar sound sh, but this is she. Now, some English speakers have got differentiating between those sounds. So, for example, there is Kasia and Kasza, two Polish words. For many people, they sound the same, but for us Poles, they're super different words, you know. So this is Świątek. Again, this is F, because again, Św is much easier to say than Św. So Świątek. This sound O, it's kind of similar to O, it's just through the nose. O. Świątek. Okay, next one. So how, this is a question I have for you. How do you read, say, or do we say things or pronounce things? How does it work? So do we first need to read something, then we need to know how to say it, and then we pronounce it? Or first we read, then we need to know how to pronounce it, and then we say it? How do you see that? And if English is not your first language, how do you do it in your own language, in your first language? Do you have some words that are specifically designed for that, or is it kind of doesn't matter, you know? In Polish, for example, we don't really have a word for pronouncing. We do, but we don't really use it. We just say commonly read or say, for example, those equivalent words. So how do you do it in English? What's your take on this, you know? Okay, next one. Some famous people. So this is ex-Polish president, number one. So it's Lech Wałęsa. So this letter does not really exist in English. So it's L with a line. So it's the equivalent of the letter W in English, the sound W. It's exactly as the W sound in English, yeah? Whereas W, as I said earlier, it's in Polish, it's V, like letter V in English represents sound V. In Polish, it's the letter W. So Wałęsa. Now we've got the letter E. It's similar to O. Again, it's a nasal letter sound. So E. So it's similar to E, just through the nose. E. In French, there are nasal vowels as well, but then the French ones, I think they're kind of shorter, like whereas in Polish, they're fairly long. O. So Lech. Now this is again something we need to remember in Polish. CH and H represent exactly the same sound, ch, which in English is represented also by the letter H. So Lech Wałęsa. Next one, Steve, the co-founder of Apple. What's his surname? Make a guess. Okay, so his surname is Woźniak. Again, J. This letter and sound does not exist in English. It's J, not really J. It's very difficult to find anything in English. Woźniak. Okay, next one. Andrzej. Again, not Sapkauski, as many Americans say. As you can see, it's a very different spelling. This is Sapkauski. It's spelled very differently to this thing. So therefore, there is a different pronunciation, yeah? So Andrzej, his surname is Sapkowski. Sapkowski. He's the author of The Witcher, or in Polish it's Wiedźmin. Very good translation. Wiedźmin, Witcher, from the Polish word wiedźma, which is like a bad witch, you know. Okay, next. This one. Don't be scared. This is my surname, actually. Don't be scared. It's not that difficult as it looks. So my surname is not a typical Polish surname, maybe. It's pronounced Wawrzyszko. Wawrzyszko. So most people, that when I tell them, they are able to repeat. Some people even straight away. Some need, 2 or 3 tries, and they get it. So Wawrzyszko. Next one, fairly easy, well-known, I think, composer, Polish composer from years ago. So Penderecki. So this is ц sound, and this is k. Penderecki. Okay, next one. Again, it's Monika, and again, it should be actually E at the end. I put A at the end because it's a woman, but she was famous because of this scandal with this American president. I'm not going to name him. Maybe I should. So Monika Lewnińska. If she were Polish, living in Poland, her surname would be Lewnińska. Again, we've got ni. Now, simply because Lewinska is a bit more difficult to say in Polish, at least, than Lewinska, because ni adds a bit of an extra softening. Lewinska, kind of easier for us to say. Then we have probably the most famous woman scientist in the world, or at least the most accomplished one. If you haven't heard about Maria Curie, I recommend you watch some documentaries about her. Amazing woman. She was born in Poland, and then she married Pierre Curie, and she took his surname. So her surname is Skłodowska. So again, we've got w letter and sound w. So the equivalent of the English letter W, sound w. Skłodowska. Next, this is the first one, an American politician of Polish descent, I think. So, it's Brzeziński. Again, we've got ni here simply because it's easier to say Inski rather than Inski. Next one, again, this letter, you already know it. So this is Łukasiewicz. So we've got it's not a diphthong, it's a sound composed of 2 letters. Sorry, I cannot highlight it now. CZ at the end. So this is one sound, ch. Very ch. Actually, in English it's softer ch. In Polish it's much harder ch. So Łukasiewicz. Now here we've got she sound. Again, does not exist in English, but it's similar to English sh. Just make it a little bit softer. Łukasiewicz. Next one, you probably know this guy, Lewandowski. Very famous Polish sports person. Robert Lewandowski is his first name. Next one, very famous, the world's strongest man with highest number of winnings in the strongman category, 6 times in a row, I think, the only one. So Mariusz is his first name, and the surname, very easy, Pudzianowski. So again, we don't have G sound in English. G, there is also a harder sound J in Polish. So it's G and G. So this one is the softer one. Pudzianowski. Again, wski. If he had a wife or daughter, his daughter would be Pudzianowska. Yeah. Okay, Dębicka. Oh, I just gave it away. So there is this English actress. Her surname is Dębicki. Again, if she were Polish, she would be called Dębicka, not Dębicki. I don't know if she says her surname is Dębicki, which is Wrong. Dębicki. Okay. Now, next one. We're almost getting to the end. So the first two surnames, the most popular ones in Poland, really. So probably number one is the most popular one now. So it's like Smith in the English world. So the first one is Nowak, very simple, Nowak. The second one, Kowalski, you already know this is Kowalski. The third one is the surname of our current Prime Minister, Donald Tusk. Tusk doesn't sound like a typical Polish surname, but maybe it is, Tusk. Next one, this actually has a meaning. It means a little rose, and it's pronounced Różyczka. So I told you at the beginning, this is U. So O with this line above, it's U. So in Polish, we've got two letters for the same sound, U. And then Ż. Again, not really, this sound does not exist in English, maybe apart from the word like vision. If you pronounce it in a hard way, vision, then you have a Ż. But other than that, there is no Ż in English, really. So Różyczka, and then there is a Czech version, different spelling, Różyczka, I think they say it. And are you a fan of computer games? Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, the Czech train station, Różyczka, and they have been mispronounced as Ruzyka, and I just found it disgusting. They knew exactly how to pronounce it. It was in the game, in the announcements, but the actors were saying Ruzyka. Why would you mispronounce something when you say it's Różyczka? Such a beautiful word, Różyczka, little rose, and you just... I have no words for that, what they did with that. Anyway, next one, Zając. Again, we've got O, and we've got C sound. C does not really exist in English unless you say pizza, so you borrowed it from Italians. So Zając. Next one, Wilczek. That's a very famous scientist. If you're a physicist, you probably heard about Wilczek. It means actually little wolf or wolf cub. Next one, Duda. Again, very famous surname in Poland. Nothing difficult about this, Duda. Again, I said U. We've got two letters for the sound U. So this and the O with a sign, Duda. Next one. This one is again tricky. I already mentioned this. So this one is pronounced Chmielewski. So again, you need to forget about that C here at the beginning. Forget about it. Just Chmielewski, yeah? Imagine the C doesn't exist. For historical reasons, we still use it in spellings. Those two, CH and H, they used to represent two different sounds, but now there is just one sound, Ch, like the letter H in English, one sound, yeah? Chmielewski. I've got Różyczka again here by mistake, and Zając, okay. And bonus, for those of you who are tough, I hope you're not tired yet. The last one is three famous Poles. Nicholas Copernicus, actually that's his Latin name, I believe, whereas his Polish name was Mikołaj Kopernik. Now, it is not known if he actually spoke Polish or not, but he was born in Poland and he considered himself to be a Pole. So that's an interesting story, I guess. Very famous guy, Mikołaj Kopernik. Then John Paul II, he used to be a pope, very famous pope, well known all over the world and respected. So John Paul in Poland, or in Polish, is Jan Paweł, but his real name is this, Karol Wojtyła. Wojtyła. And the last one again, François Chopin. His father was French, but he was born in Poland. He considered himself to be a Pole. In his heart, he was a Pole always. So in Poland, people call him Frédéric Chopin, but I guess the French would not be happy because I guess it's Chopin or something like this. So François Chopin or Frédéric Chopin or Frédéric Chopin, whichever one you like. Okay, I hope you found this useful. Remember to watch my other videos and see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.